Brothers and sisters, I remind you of the holy presence of God and of our Lord whom we receive in the Eucharist. And I have learned. Welcome back to A Catholic Presence. I'm Jen, and I have a special guest with us today, Tiphany Yannick. She is a mom, of course a wife, and a mother of 5, and a blogger on bestselfmom.com. Hi Tiphany, thank
Hi,
you for
Jennifer.
joining us today. So how long have you had your blog?
I've had my blog since June of last year.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow. So your first anniversary is coming up pretty quick
Yeah,
in a
it
few
is.
months. How
Yeah.
exciting. So, what inspired you to start the blog?
That is a loaded question because there's so much behind. It seems like such a journey, but probably like a couple years ago, I've been homeschooling for about 8 years straight, and I was passionate about it. I loved every minute of it, and it just came to a close, and I just didn't know what to do. Like I had to pivot, and I had to do something, and it's really hard when you know in your heart that it's something in your life is over, and when I'm to cry,
Okay.
and when you don't know exactly what to do next. It's so anyways, I had to do something. So there was like a long, like, it may have been like a whole year of um discerning, maybe. Like, gosh, it felt like the desert, right? Going through the desert, not knowing what you're supposed to do next. And so I had to try a lot of different things. I did a career planning course. I had a life coach, and I had a lot of things like that I was playing around with, trying to figure out what I was doing. Had my kids in private school, and that was really hard.
Oh.
Going from a plan of I'm going to homeschool my kids my whole life to okay, that's no longer going to happen. So what am I going to do? So, anyways, come COVID in March, when all that happened, the answer finally came. It's just like was so the obvious answer. I was like dying and kicking and screaming for the entire time. So anyways, I got my blog up, and I wanted to devote it to people who are moms who are stressed, who are missing these tools, these amazing tools that we have, and tools on negative self-talk. I've got perfection. I cover such a wide range of self-improvement tools for moms. And I think I'm trying to really define and niche down what my blog is about, and what my message is about, what I'm called to speak about. And I really think that it's just I feel like I want to provide the tools for my children that I didn't have. And I feel like a lot of these things you didn't learn in school. We didn't learn a lot of emotional regulation. We didn't learn how to be confident. We didn't learn those things in school. And I want my kids to have those tools. And I know that the best way for my kids to learn is not to read about it in books, but is to see it and then to do it themselves, So I'm really confident. My tagline, which is practice it, model it, achieve it, which
Right.
is the idea that we're going to practice these skills. We're going to be modeling it for our children, and I'll get there eventually, right? We're all going to get to our best selves eventually, but it takes a lot of work. And yeah.
Right. And you're sharing this now through your website, which I think is great. I love reading your articles and stuff.
Thank you.
How long does it take you to write an article?
Um, it takes me a long time. I'm
Oh,
not I'm not a natural writer. I really feel like it's and I think another reason why it takes me so long is because there's a lot of research that I'm doing. I mean, this is kind of like a journey blog, so it's everything is new to me, and I'm learning this from experience, and then I'm researching it. So but typically it takes about a week for me to get to do go through the research, but there's like a lot of other stuff that's going into that, creating graphics. You have to email your subscribers, and there's like a ton that goes behind that. But typically I reserve a week to get one solid blog post out, and all that has to
okay.
go behind it.
Yeah. Neat. So your website says that you are on a mission to provide resources and other tools to help moms to reduce stress and take steps to become our best self. I
Yeah.
think you said that so wonderfully on your mission statement. It's neat.
Thank you.
So, what are your goals for the website?
So my goals right now for the website, for the near future that I see, is that I want to create a at home retreat that mothers can have, that has a schedule, it has videos, it has tools and worksheets, activities, like a completely guided retreat that they can do at home, or preferably if they're able to get away, if they have family or a spouse that can watch the children, to
Mm-hmm.
get away and have that time for self-care, and to become more aware of the stress in their lives, what causes it, how is the best way that they can overcome that, um, or moreover, like preventative self-care, and
Okay.
getting like a system down, so
Yeah.
um, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I really want to provide those retreats, um, and I don't know, eventually we'll see what happens, but it would, maybe I could even do like some live,
Oh,
um,
wow.
or like in person. It would be really cool, but one step at a time. So the
Right,
retreat
right.
is the first thing, that I really want to see if that's what my audience needs, if that's something that is going to be good for the best self mom.
Right, definitely. I like all your articles, by the way. They help me out too in my own personal growth and everything. And one that really stood out was how to stop negative thought patterns with powerful questions, and questioning, like, is this really true what I'm thinking? Oh no, it's the end of
Mm-hmm.
the world thing, or I can't do this or something. And it's like, well, is it true? Is like the sky gonna fall, or and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And
Yeah.
you get different. You work on your self talk in many ways, and I'm glad you bring that up in your articles as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I that article, like, what I really love is it's not just about the questions. I mean, I had that article written about the questions, but even the patterns, like just knowing that there's patterns of thought that can be, negative, that could be harmful, like catastrophizing, where you have a thought and it's like, it's the end of the world, right? You take this thought and decide that it's the end of the world. Like, I don't know how many times, and I'm sure like people felt this way, that in 2020, did you ever get a cough or a sore throat and go straight to, oh my gosh, I got COVID?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
talked to so many people who felt that way, and we catastrophize, and anyways, those questions are really helpful of just like, is this 100% true? Do I have evidence to support this? Or do I have evidence to support the other side of this thought that goes against what I'm saying? Because I think we're always drawn to just, well, I mean, that would be catastrophizing to think the worst. And, all of us have, maybe a different way of looking at it or different negative thoughts, but some of us may recognize we have patterns, and so it's important to find those patterns. And when you know that, you're able to, like, stop a negative thought even before it takes hold of you, which is really nice,
right,
and helpful.
and recognizing that, it's a good thing to think about.
Yeah.
So what is your advice to moms out there seeking guidance to living out their faith amidst a busy family life?
I would say being busy can be stressful, and it's really important to take time for self-care. And it can be really hard. I don't know what other people's circumstances is, but I found that I felt guilt for taking time for self-care. I felt like it was selfish. And I would go throughout my day just, serving. And my thought was like, I'll take care of myself when I'm not busy. And it's like, there's always I'm at the age, and I have 5 kids. There is always going to be something that I have to be called to do. There's always going to be something on my plate that I need to do. So taking that time for self-care, and even more importantly, doing preventative self-care, not waiting until something happens that triggers the need for it, but to do it. If you could do it, reserve a time like 10-15 minutes a day to take care of yourself. Then, and even if you don't feel like it, having that reserved time is going to be, it's a game changer.
It's very good to know. Good words of wisdom. Well, thank you so much for your time, Tiphany.
Thank you, Jennifer.
And can anyone subscribe to your blog? Or
Yes. And let me say that if you go to my website, bestselfmom.com, you'll find it'll either be through a pop-up, or you can go and find the blog post, self-care kit. And there's a self-care kit. It's got about 12 pages, and I put a lot of work and love into that book, and it's free to any of my subscribers. So that's a way you can keep in touch, and hopefully get to hear soon about the retreat.
Definitely, and looking forward to further articles down
Yes.
the road. So be sure to check out bestselfmom.com, and we'll see you next time.